welcome to another great week of Spicer and Company. I'm Sean Spicer.
And I'm Lindsay Keith. Well, Sean, just a few days ago, we lost a pioneer for women's rights. Justice Ruth Bader Ginsburg passed away at the age of 87 after serving almost 3 decades on the Supreme Court.
Yeah, that's right, Lindsay. I mean, right after we got off air Friday night, we learned of her passing. It was talk about throwing a wrench into this entire election season 6 weeks out. It's unbelievable, the twists and turns and things that are happening. But Ginsburg was only the second woman appointed to the Supreme Court in its entire history. And I mean, I think regardless of what party you're from, where you sit on the judicial spectrum there, you can recognize that she was a trailblazer. They dedicated her life to public service. Even the Chief Justice, John Roberts, who was appointed by a Republican, said in a statement, "Our nation has lost a jurist of historic stature. We at the Supreme Court have lost a cherished colleague. Today we mourn, but with confidence that future generations will remember Ruth Bader Ginsburg as we knew her, a tireless and resolute champion of justice." You know, and it's interesting because I think for a lot of people, there's different things that they identify with her. Like notorious RBG. She became kind of a pop culture figure because of her workout regimens. For a lot of people who have either fought or know someone who fought cancer, her resilience sort of came through. And there's so many different ways that people connected to her well beyond, her judicial philosophy and her opinions on the court. And so it was interesting watching all this go down Friday night as people started to pay tribute to her.
Yeah, it was really interesting. We definitely have lost, I would say, one of the greats, and she was a huge fighter for women's rights. And I remember one time many people have started saying this when she said, someone asked her, how many people will be enough women on the court? And she said 9. And people laughed, but she said no one laughed when there were 9 men. But, it just showed how passionate she was about women's rights and equal pay. And same, I don't agree with her on all of her positions, but I think that we all can recognize that she was a true patriot. And even after she lost her husband to his battle with cancer, the next day she was back at the court because she loved her job so much. And so she was a fighter and she was passionate about what she did. Yeah,
and she's great friends with Antonin Scalia. Yes. And it just showed that you can have these different beliefs and still actually get along and socialize in a civil manner, which is it's amazing. The thing that I found fascinating, Lindsay, and I know we'll have plenty of time, not just today, but this week to get into, is how political it quickly came. And I think it came from the left. I mean, people were out there on the right, paying tribute to her work, and then immediately became, okay, this is a political issue. But obviously, we're going to have a lot to get into on that.
Yeah, I think that's right. And obviously, you should mourn her death, but so many people were just looking to the future and what this means for this election cycle, which was a little bit sad it happened so quickly.
I know, and the Democrats clearly have now come out and said that they want to wait on filling her seat. But if you remember back when they were trying to confirm their own nominee last cycle to the Supreme Court, with Merrick Garland out there, they didn't feel quite the same way. Take a listen.
The American people deserve a fully staffed court of 9.
The president nominates, and then the Senate advises and consents or not, but they go forward with the process.
What we're seeing here, and I hope this is temporary, is a disrespect for the Constitution.
The Constitution is 100% clear. The President of the United States has the right to nominate someone to be a justice of the Supreme Court.
All right, joining us now to talk about this is a former clerk to Supreme Court Justice Clarence Thomas and the president of the Judicial Crisis Network, Carrie Severino. Carrie, welcome to the show.
Great to be here.
Man, your weekend just got changed big time, huh? Friday night, you were probably just chilling out, ready to enjoy a nice weekend, then boom, into the frying pan, huh?
Yeah, it was hard to believe at first. Obviously, we've all been praying for Justice Ginsburg for a while, but it's hard to believe we're here.
So walk me through the strategy real quick, right? The president's going to make an announcement later this week, Friday or Saturday, he says. He'll put it out there. What does McConnell do? And what I mean by that is this. Does he want to have a vote strategically before the election? Would he want to have the hearings and then maybe have the vote after the election? But I mean, there's a lot of variables in here, one of which right now is they've got, 4 votes to play with on the Republican side. But if Mark Kelly beats Martha McSally in Arizona, because that's a special election, he would immediately join the Senate, taking their majority down, giving them less Republicans to lose. So what do you think the strategy is from a McConnell standpoint?
I don't really want to second guess Leader McConnell. I don't know anyone who knows how to count to 50 better than Mitch McConnell. So I think you're right. There's a lot of factors in the process. I think one thing we do know that's clear, there's absolutely time to get this done before the election, if that's what Leader McConnell wants to do in terms of getting the vote done. Look, Senator O'Connor was confirmed in 33 days. Ruth Bader Ginsburg herself, 42 days. John Paul Stevens, that was just a 16-day confirmation process. And all of the front runners we're looking at here are women who were recently confirmed by bipartisan majorities in the Senate. So the Senate has seen them recently. The White House has updated its vetting recently. There's not a lot of unknowns in this process. It would be very easy to move quickly on to hearings and a vote.
You guys played big in the Justice Kavanaugh nomination. What's the plan for the Judicial Crisis Network this time?
Well, we just launched a $2.2 million ad talking about some of those precedents, about how, the precedent is in an election year, if there's a vacancy, the president can nominate, and there's a lot of time to get this done. It's not going to be a problem. We can do it. And we want to make sure that there's a lot of support for this nominee, because we saw the Kavanaugh nomination. We know the left is just going crazy trying to stop any way they can, and they're going to do whatever they can to stop this nomination. The good news is the American people in 2018 saw fit to give the Senate Republicans not just back the Senate, but actually a wider margin in the Senate in the wake of that Kavanaugh catastrophe. I think they didn't want that kind of smear campaign, attacks on judicial nominees. And so, if we've got the White House and the Senate, I think we're going to get this confirmation done.
Are you worried the Democrats, at least seemingly, are saying, hey, if you go ahead with this, we're pulling the trigger here and going, everything's on the table, including packing the court. Do you think that that's a concern that you have?
Look, packing the court has been on the table for years. They've been threatening to pack the court for a long time. They're not waiting for President Trump to confirm another nominee to pack the court. They're just waiting till the minute they have the White House, the Senate, and the House. They will pack the court. I guarantee you. So don't do what you want, President Trump. Don't think it's going to affect their willingness to play absolute political hardball here. But I don't think that's what the American people are going to want to see. Look at these women that we're talking about here. You've got Amy Coney Barrett, mother of 7. 2 of these kids are adopted from Haiti. She has nonetheless achieved at the highest levels in her career as a scholar, as a judge. Barbara Lagoa, who is the daughter of Cuban immigrants. Her parents came here to live in a country under the rule of law, and she has spoken so eloquently how that is her role as a judge, to make sure she's interpreting the law as it's written and not become one of those tyrants her family fled from. I see you're looking at Allison Jones-Rushing, 4th Circuit nominee, who has already accomplished so much. She herself was also, like Amy Coney Barrett, attacked for her faith and for some of those positions she took on religious liberty during her confirmation process. All these women have stood strong. They have spines of steel. These are women that absolutely deserve a vote, and I think the American people are going to be really excited. I don't even know who it's going to be yet, but I'm already excited.
So you've seen already Senator Collins of Maine, Senator Murkowski of Alaska coming out and saying, we're not going to vote to confirm someone until after the election. Do you think that once you put one of these strong women in front of them as a nominee, they might blink?
I think it's going to be very hard to look one of these nominees in the face. These are, Justice Ginsburg, I may not agree with all of her legal positions and her jurisprudence, but everyone has to admire her courage, her strength as a woman, her trailblazing career. These are women who follow exactly in those kind of footsteps. Again, they're going to differ with her in the jurisprudence. That's a given. These are going to be Trump nominees. They're not going to be Clinton nominees like Ginsburg was. But they're women who I think fit into that category of incredible role models for women. It's going to be hard to cast a vote against them.
Oh, yeah. I mean, these are great choices. And I think this is actually going to turn out to be a huge election issue for the president that's going to benefit him going down the thing, because nothing brings people together like understanding as conservatives what's at stake in this. All right, Carrie, I'm going to put you on the spot. If the president calls you right now and says, Carrie, I can't pick for me, give me a name, who do you give him?
I have a obligation and duty in my job. I'm not going to love all my short listers the same. I'm not going to pick. But the great news is they're all so good. You could literally flip a coin. I would be so happy to promote any of these women to the court, because they all have great records of defending the Constitution and the rule of law. I just think, look, I'm looking at this purely politically. I think Barbara Lagoa would so help him with Florida. It takes it off the table real quick. But I think you're absolutely right. All 3 of them are unbelievably talented and a great addition to the court. Carrie, thank you for making time today to be with us. Look forward to checking back with you as this fight goes down the pike. Looking forward to it.
All right, guys, we've got a lot coming up. We're going to break down President Trump's top picks for the Supreme Court. Then, Nancy Pelosi says she's got arrows in her quiver. I'm not really sure what that means. We're going to see if we can figure it out. We're going to discuss the Democrats' reaction to hearing that Trump will move forward with his nominee. Plus, we're going to break down how Trump can win the Catholic vote as we kick off our week-long series on the religious vote. All that and a lot more. Stay with us.